This is an introduction to Bristol City Council's e-procurement system, commonly known or friendly known as BEPS. It starts with e-tendering and what e-tendering is. And e-tendering is a web-based tendering procurement system accessed via the internet, and for this you actually do need a valid working email account. It's easy to use, and unlike other portals, it is actually free to suppliers. Procurement arrangements have been let through BEPS for quite a while, and commissioning arrangements are now coming online. So it's up to you to take advantage of being registered on BEPS to take advantage of the system. The other advantage of BEPS is you only need to register once, and you can update your details, and actually we do urge you to update your details as well when necessary. You can check the bulletin board to view current opportunities, and once registered you can be alerted to other opportunities that come up. This is the first page of the BEPS system, and you'll note from the top that it actually has a different email address to quite a lot of other websites. It has an S after the HTTP, indicating it's a secure site, and actually has no www. If you miss out the S or put in the www, then actually you won't be able to access the site. Actually, this next slide shows the username and the new user section as well. If your organisation is a new user to the BEPS system, then you will need to register. And by registering, you click on this register button, fill in the various details it asks you for, including a valid email address, and you choose a username and password, and then click submit. Following that, you will receive an email giving you a link to go back to the system to authenticate your email account. Once you've done that, you'll be taken back to this page, you put in your username and password and log in. Once logged in, you get to your own supplier homepage, which gives you a chance to update your company profile. You can look at the bulletin board, you can look at tenders which you're working on, and should you be awarded a contract, that all comes into the My Contract system. So clicking on company profile, it comes up to a whole raft of things you can do. You can update all your details, you can add users onto your company profile, you can add and store categories against the goods and services which you would like to supply to the council, and also store other documents you may wish to keep on the system. There are a couple of links on this page which you won't see later on, and one in particular is the bit around councils. This will always be defaulting to Bristol City Council. Clicking into General, it comes up with a page where you can update your profile. At this stage you will be asked for financial information, insurance information, but also more importantly, which actually isn't shown on this particular screenshot, is also organised information, so what type of organisation you are. Moving on to users, you can add other users of your organisation onto this, so they too can have a look at the system and work their way around it. You'll note here there's a bit to do with receiving tender alerts. If you make sure you click that to yes by going to the update button, you will actually receive any alerts that come up according to the categories against which you are registered. The category section is very important for us to know what you actually want to bid for. There's nothing obviously on this one at the moment, but to actually add in a category you click on the add, and you search via a keyword, and once you've put the keyword in, you click search, and any categories against that will come up. You then do a tick against the tick boxes and press save. It will then bring up a list of those you've actually registered your category interest against. On this page you can actually update various information, so you can set a further description of the services you can offer. You can put in a minimum value of the contract you'd like to be considered for, but we actually recommend at this stage to keep that to 0. Moving on to questionnaires, this slide is actually in here just to say please ignore this area on questionnaires. Anything relating to the actual contract itself comes up in a different section. It's actually in a fairly historical design build. Finally, moving on to the other doc section, this is an area where you can just add in documents just to keep as a repository all the information you need in one place. Add the documents and click Next. If you've made any major changes, you can let us know what they are by filling in this box saying detail of changes. This isn't really necessary of any of the minor ones that you might have made. But if there are any like changing of company name, adding in different types of business, then please do let us know. At the end of this, click Finish. Always press Finish at the end, otherwise any changes will not be remembered. And once you've clicked Finish, it will tell you that your profile has been successfully submitted. Moving on to back to your home page, You can now look at the bulletin board to look at opportunities you may wish to tender for. Again, this is done by a keyword search, as at the top here. It also displays tenders which you can register for, but also ones that match your profile. You can search by that, but I actually would suggest that in the matching categories bit I put down to all, just in case you've missed a category or a category's been added in the meantime. Once you've searched and through the results, to get any information on the tenders that may come up, just click on that particular one. But before we move into that, just note the key down the side. The star indicates the deadline is less than a week away, and if there's a grumpy face, it means the deadline has passed and you can't apply for that tender. So, moving on to the tender detail itself. Clicking on the search result will bring you up a notice of the tender you're interested in. It'll give you who's procuring it, the title of it, the category, and also it will give a description. It also gives the contract start date, but also more importantly, the deadline for submitting documentation. If this isn't something you think you'd be interested in, please just click the register button at the bottom right hand corner. This will take you to the next section called My Tenders, and on this stage is where you can work on tenders you've already registered an interest in. This dummy supplier has a number of them, and all you want to do is work on the example of the blinds tender. So he clicks on that again, and it comes up with a very short bit of the notice, and also includes where you can access all contract documentation. So ignoring the bottom half of the slide for the time being, just click on View Full Notice including documentation. It'll bring you back to the notice which you had before, but also if you notice at the bottom, it gives you the documentation relating to that tender. You've got guidance, you've got questionnaires, which you need to download to your PC to then work on. Click on it, click Save, and then save it to your PC. If you have a question you'd like raising to clarify anything, just click on the Raise a Clarification question. Put in the subject, the title, and press Send. That will come back to our system and then be forwarded on to the various link officer or contract manager. To get answers back from that, if you click on View Messages, it'll give the original message plus the answer back, and any questions raised by other tenders will also be shown. This makes it quite easy for people just to see if there's one question that they might have asked has already been there. However, the system does not identify any tenders or asked questions. It is completely anonymous. Moving on to the last 2 points on this particular page, you can change the main contact for the procurement exercise. If you decide after reading all the information you don't want to proceed, you can just click to decline interest. However, you've now decided that you do want to submit your documentation, you've filled it all in and you're ready to do it. So just click Submit Documentation. Nothing's been added as yet, so you just click the Add button, document name, and then browse from your PC to get the document up. Same as anything else that you're uploading elsewhere. It comes out with the document name and then just click Submit. It'll tell you when it's been received, what date, the time, and actually a receipt number as well, and also what document you've sent through. You can carry on adding any sorts of information that you've been asked for, but we would urge you not to add miscellaneous information as that won't be taken into account. Once you've added everything you want to do, this takes you back to the original notice page. It tells you in this section here what you've actually sent through, and that's fine. If you want to review or resubmit any tender documentation, just click on the What Next button, and as long as this is before the deadline date, you're more than welcome to do this. That's given you, hopefully, an introduction to the BEPS system. There are various points of help and contact for this. Through the system itself, you could email the E-Procurement system, otherwise Sabrina at Vosca, and the number there, and myself, also the number at the bottom. Good luck.